Why did Buffett reduce his holdings of BYD at an ultra-low price? What is the real reason? Buffett has significantly reduced his holdings of BYD 3 times in recent months, especially on November 1st. He reduced his holdings of 3.297 million H shares at a price of 169 Hong Kong dollars and 87 cents, reducing his shareholding ratio to 17.92%. This price is almost 50% less than the highest price this year. Why is Buffett eager to sell at almost half the price now? This is actually a very striking event for people who invest in Chinese stocks. Does not lead to real rational analysis and reasonable judgment? Summarizing various comments on the internet, there are probably several judgments. First, Buffett believes that BYD's business has reached its peak, and there is not much room for future business. Obviously, this is not in line with the facts, and the new energy vehicle business is just getting better. In 2035, most parts of the world will ban fuel vehicles. This is a trillion-dollar market. BYD and Tesla are the only two profitable companies. Since this year, production and sales have greatly surpassed Tesla, occupying the first place in the world. China, the largest auto market, accounts for 30% of the market and is extremely competitive. The future is bright. Buffett knows this better than anyone else. The second is to say that Buffett is selling on rallies, which is even more ignorant of Buffett's investment style. Munger once said that BYD was a stock he was willing to take to the grave, knowing that the last time he said that, he was referring to Costco. And if you want to talk about rallies, then in 2008, when he bought it, he shipped it when it rose from 8 yuan to 88 yuan, or when it shipped when it was more than 300 yuan last year, instead of falling 50% now. At the time, people hurriedly left in a row. The third is that Buffett's judgment that the financial situation will deteriorate this year is not true. In fact, this year's financial situation may be the best in history. All financial indicators have improved substantially. And with the orderly expansion of production capacity, it will have a good performance next year and the next year. The fourth is that Buffett does not understand the future of new energy vehicles. In order to avoid making mistakes, he came out ahead of time. The most representative of this is the view of Ren Zeping, a well-known economist who has close ties with Liu He, China's vice premier in charge of the economy. Of course, there are other points of view, which are not listed one by one. I think it's very likely that Buffett started reducing his holdings before the CCP Congress, and picked up the pace after the meeting, not mainly because of economic reasons, but political anxiety. Buffett believes that the soul of investing is certainty, certainty, certainty. The changes in some policy discourses over the past year, such as the disorderly expansion of capital, and the difference between China's epidemic prevention policy and the international ones, make it very likely that he cannot figure out the direction of China's policy, and his investment in stocks other than the United States is very cautious. Coupled with the conflict between China and the United States, and the superposition of these factors, it is very likely that after careful consideration, Buffett deeply feels that Chinese concept stocks have lost a very important macro certainty. In a speech at Stanford Law School in 1990, Buffett said, "I like American companies because I don't know what happens overnight in other countries. I bought stock in a company in 1955, and now I also have one share each. This stock looks safe at all times, really good stock. Just one problem, the company's assets are in Havana, Cuba, and Castro has seized it. Our equity doesn't mean anything, the stock just sits. We protested, but to no avail. I've kept this stock just to keep it reminding me that laws in certain regions can be overnight change in time." Listen carefully and ponder over Buffett's words. People who invest in Chinese stocks, can you still sleep?